All right, y'all. For this week's edition of In the History Books, we explore the last time that the WNBA had back-to-back champs. So in 2002, the LA Sparks defeated the New York Liberty to win their second title in a row. Amazing. But how did this team get to that point to win a back-to-back championship? Well, it started in 2000 when the LA Sparks went on a 3-year stretch with a record of 81-15. In 2000, the team didn't play at the Staples Center. They played at the Great Western Forum. They were coached by Michael Cooper, and they ended up that year in first place in the Western Conference with a record of 28-4. The team was led by Lisa Leslie, Delisha Milton-Jones, Mwati Mabuka, and Tamika Dixon. In 2000, the Sparks would make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, where they would lose to the eventual winners, the Houston Comets. In the offseason, the team would regroup, and they came back in 2001 on a mission to win it all. And they did. Lisa Leslie had an MVP season, averaging almost a double-double with 19.5 points a game and 9.6 rebounds. The team had a record of 28-4, and they were finally able to move from the Great Western Forum to the Staples Center, where they were able to finally get over the hump in the West, beating both the Houston Comets and the Sacramento Monarchs to face Dawn Staley and the Charlotte Sting in the WNBA Finals. In 2001, the LA Sparks won their first championship in franchise history. This team was, of course, led by Lisa Leslie, who played lights out, really, and capped off a spectacular season. She finished that season in 2001 as the regular season MVP, as the All-Star MVP, and as the Finals MVP. Like, what a trifecta. This, I think, is still to this day the only time in the WNBA that a player had all 3 MVP honors. Like, that was truly, truly amazing to see her have that amazing year. And y'all, there's a lot that I can specifically say about Lisa Leslie. And I will talk about how transcendent she was as a women's basketball player in a future episode. I'm going to specifically highlight her for the entire In Their History Books segment. But for right now, Lisa Leslie was freaking amazing. And in 2000 in particular, she was at the top of her game. And so the LA Sparks won the championship in 2001. And with that win on their home court at Staples Center, they were flying high. They were the best team in the world that was led by the best player in the world, and they were looking to repeat. And repeat they did. In 2002, the LA Sparks added a new piece to the team in rookie Nikki Teasley, who had a huge impact on this team. She started every regular season game. Nikki was drafted in 2002 by the Portland Fire with the 5th overall pick. And after she was drafted, she was then traded to the LA Sparks. The LA Sparks would finish off the season in first place in the Western Conference with a record of 25-7. They would go on to sweep the Seattle Storm, sweep the Utah Stars to make it to the finals, where they would face now head coaches in the WNBA, Teresa Weatherspoon and Becky Hammon, when they played for the New York Liberty. The Sparks would sweep the Liberty to win their second championship. With Lisa Leslie once again dominating and winning the Finals MVP for a second time. And an interesting New York Liberty fact to know is that by 2002, the New York Liberty had lost in the WNBA Finals 4 times. And this year, again, they lost in the WNBA Finals. And they are still the last original team left standing who has not won a WNBA championship. Who knows when they'll be able to be able to accomplish that. Maybe it's next year. Who knows? Let me know what y'all think about the New York Liberty in particular and the fact that they still haven't won a championship in the comments below. And also, I have a fun LA history fact for you. Did you know in a 3-year span, the LA Lakers and the LA Sparks would combine to win 5 championships from that span in the early 2000s. And if you don't remember, this was a time where Shaq and Kobe both played for the LA Lakers, and they were just a really stacked team. You had Robert Horry, you had Derek Fisher, like lots of amazing players who played on that team. All right, guys, so that was your history lesson for this week. Let me know if you remember this version of the Sparks. I remember this time specifically because I was a huge LA Sparks fan. I was a huge LA Lakers fan, and also at the time I was a huge Sacramento Monarchs and also Sacramento Kings fan. Just California. I just loved the California basketball teams. And what I remember the most about this time was that I was a huge fan of both Lisa Leslie and Shaq. Just sort of watching them dominate and play at the highest level made me want to be a basketball player. And at the time, I was tall for my age, so I wanted to be a post player, and I wanted to dominate just like them. And unfortunately, I didn't grow up as tall as they was, so I had to eventually resign myself to the fact that I would never play in the WNBA, and I would always just be a massive fan. But watching Lisa Leslie play, it inspired me. And I know it inspired lots of other little girls at the time to aim high and try their best. Truly, Lisa Leslie was phenomenal during that time period, and I myself remember this time very vividly because I really wanted to be like Lisa Leslie, and also Shaq for that matter too. LA was killing with both the Lakers and the Sparks at that time. So I kind of shared my story about watching this 2001 and 2002 version of the LA Sparks. Do you have a story to share? Do you have a memory of watching this team play at that time? And if you do, share it below. I would love to hear what you all have to say. All right, now on to college. And I have a question for you. What happens when Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, and Angel Reese walk into a room?